Hi, I'm Nurdan. I'm presenting today my concept pitch for a redesign of Audioslave's self-titled album for Assignment 2 of Experimental Image Making Processes. Before I talk about Audioslave, I'll first provide background on alternative rock. Alternative rock emerged as a distinct genre in the 1970s out of the UK and US underground music movements, particularly the punk-inspired subcultures. As the name suggests, alternative was a breakaway from mainstream of commercial rock and pop music. It began to make an increasing impact in the 1980s before reaching its peak throughout the 1990s. The genre was inspired by a growing cultural discontent, particularly among its mostly college audience, and feeding off topics such as drug use, depression, suicide, religion, the environment, and other important social questions. In 2001, Audioslave emerged as an alternative rock supergroup. Formed in Glendale, California, Audioslave united Soundgarden's lead singer and rhythm guitarist Chris Cornell with Rage Against the Machine members Tim Comerford on bass and backing vocals, Tom Morello on lead guitar, and Brad Wilk on drums. Both bands were already legends of the genre, and their decision to team up was met with high expectations. The Audioslave sound represented a sophisticated blend of 1970s hard rock and 1990s alternative rock, along with the infusion of a host of other musical influences, including 1960s funk, soul, and R&B or rhythm and blues. Following the lead of Rage Against the Machine, Audioslave prided itself on the production of album using only guitars, bass, drums, and vocals. Significant emphasis was put on Cornell's impressive vocal range and Morello's distinctive and unconventional guitar solos. During its 6 years, Audioslave released 3 albums, received 3 Grammy nominations, and sold more than 8 million records worldwide. However, the band had a rocky breakup in 2007. On 20 January 2017, after a decade apart, the band unexpectedly reunited for a special performance to protest Donald Trump's inauguration as president. However, fan hopes of a reunion were dashed when frontman Chris Cornell committed suicide in May of the same year. He had struggled with depression and multiple addictions, mostly alcohol and prescription drugs. While he had success managing his addictions, he had even quit smoking, his struggle with depression never ended. His lyrics were described by other band members as haunted existential poetry. They also had a cryptical quality, often dealing with complex themes around existentialism, love, hedonism, spirituality, and even Christianity. The cover that I'm focusing on is Audioslave's self-titled debut album released in 2002. The album cover was the inspiration of Stone Thorgerson, the leader of the group of creative artists known as Hipgnosis. He explained that his image depicts a man paying homage to the 2 defunct bands Soundgarden and Rage Against the Machine and their reincarnation in the new band Audioslave. Symbolizing eternal fire, the front cover features a large beaten bronze sculpture standing on a volcanic island. Various representations of the eternal fire symbol, including in typographic form in the band titles, would go on to become the band's logo. In front of the eternal fire, a lone figure stands in homage to the gleaming sculpture. The small figure provides a reference point and highlights the size and scale of the sculpture. The back cover is an extension of the image on the front side that incorporates the track list and a small photo of the band together. Let's look briefly at Audioslave's 2 other albums, Out of Exile in 2005 and Revelations in 2006, respectively. As you can see, both covers are based on uncomplicated photographic images with dark and earthy tones. Although slightly different, the Eternal Fire logo appears in the Audioslave typography. In addition, the Eternal Fire is used to represent a fictional nation on the Revelations cover, later dubbed Audioslave Nation, for the marketing of the album. I first discovered Soundgarden and Rage Against the Machine during my first years at university, and I loved to listen to them. When I heard Audioslave, the quality of their music and Chris Cornell's exceptional vocals didn't disappoint. I chose to redesign Audioslave's self-titled debut album cover as a tribute to Cornell and the origin story of the band. I wanted to recognize his contribution to music and acknowledge his inspirational yet tragic journey as he fought depression and addiction to rise through his ashes over and over again. My limited edition album targets existing fans of all 3 bands who followed the story of these bands as they formed, separated, and reunited. To inform my design direction, I analyzed 3 quintessential songs from the album to highlight Cornell's lyrical themes. In I'm the Highway, Cornell focused on self-worth, looking for freedom and independence, and the lack of appreciation he felt in his life. In Show Me How to Live, there are references to religion and a search for divine guidance with overtones of his personal struggles with drugs, alcohol usage, depression, and suicidal thoughts. And Like a Stone deals deals with religion, afterlife, and meaning of life. These three songs represent many of the recurring themes in Audioslave's music as the search for self, self-worth, meaning and freedom, overlaid with Cornell's expression of his personal struggles. Despite the horrible toll of his personal life, Cornell continued tirelessly to make his music and contribute fully to the success of the band. With Audioslave's Eternal Flame logo in mind, Cornell's creative struggles seemed inspired by the fiery phoenix, a mythical symbol of renewal and rebirth that rises from its own ashes. My first design direction focuses on Phoenix. These covers capture both the struggle and the power of the mystical creature in strong, eye-catching colors, calling Audioslave fans to re-engage with the music of its debut album. Despite Cornell's death, it also represents how he lives on through his music. The second design direction focuses on the struggle for freedom, a recurring theme of Audioslave songs. An image of drawing of chained hands reaching up into the air and breaking free represent the yearning for freedom. The chains represent responsibilities and the struggles that we all face to varying degrees, and like real chains, they cannot be easily broken. The broken chain also symbolizes the band reaching out to people through their music and allowing them to feel free, even if it's only in that moment. The chains are also in keeping with the band's name, Audioslave. Inspired by these mood boards, I sketched out a few concept ideas based on the two themes, the phoenix and freedom. The first column depicts the phoenix in different poses and angles with wings wide open and spreading from the front cover to the back cover. The second column presents sketches of a broken barbed wire and a chained hand reaching out to the sky as a symbol of freedom. I proposed to experiment with oil paint, analog and digital drawing and illustration techniques to further explore these ideas. Based on my concept ideas, I have also explored typographic options. The original text uses modern rounded sans serif typeface. For my remake, I looked at both serif and sans serif typefaces. They are modern but have more character with a touch of decoration. To get started, I drew two phoenix characters. The first one, I scanned and refined the drawing in Illustrator. I also took the opportunity to apply various fonts to see how they would change the feel of the illustration. I am very excited about continuing with my experiments. Thank you for listening.